Good evening, everyone. My name is Valentina Polidoro, and tonight we're covering Seton Hall Spring Sports, the NHL MVP race, the start of the MLB season, and a quick look at the NBA playoff push. Stay with us for Anchor Point, where we will be discussing World Cup winners, March Madness player of the tournament, and who should the Giants take at number 5, with debaters Jay Costa and Elijah Weintraub. We will also be having an exclusive interview with Seton Hall's very own Julianna. This is Hall Zone. Seton Hall's men's baseball continues their season as the Pirates face off against St. John's Red Storm at O&T Carroll Field last week, playing a 3-game series. The Pirates lost all 3 games, including a doubleheader on April 4th. However, there is a lot to look forward to with this team. The first game of the doubleheader against St. John's on April 4th saw the Pirates almost pull off an incredible comeback, down 13-3 at the end of the 7th inning. The Pirates go on to score 9 unanswered runs, but just fell short. There is one thing we learned. There is no quit in this team. Gabe Cavazzoni, a junior infielder, leads the team with a batting average of .330 and 15 RBIs. He had 2 RBIs in the series against St. John's. On April 10th, 11th, and 12th, the Pirates will be in Omaha, Nebraska, as they take on the Creighton Blue Jays in a 3-game series this coming weekend. Good luck, Pirates! The NHL regular season is coming to an end next Thursday, with playoffs right around the corner. Teams such as the Carolina Hurricanes, Tampa Bay Lightning, the Colorado Avalanche, the Edmonton Oilers are sitting at the top of their divisions a week out from the playoffs. The NHL MVP race is heating up between Nathan MacKinnon from the Colorado Avalanche and Nikita Kucherov from the Tampa Bay Lightning. As playoffs draw near, the battle for the last few wildcard spots grow more and more competitive. The teams looking to grab the last spots in the Eastern Conference are the Boston Bruins, the Ottawa Senators, the Philadelphia Flyers, the New York Islanders, the Detroit Red Wings, the Columbus Blue Jackets, and the Washington Capitol. The teams looking to grab the last couple spots in the Western Conference are the Utah Mammoth, the Nashville Predators, the LA Kings, the San Jose Sharks, the St. Louis Blues, and the Winnipeg Jets. Who do you think will grab the last wildcard spot in the NHL playoffs? Stay with us after this break.
Was it rolling?
Oh yeah, that was great.
The MLB season is officially underway, and the opening week brought excitement across the league. The Milwaukee Brewers are yet again the hottest team in baseball to start off the season, being led by former MVP Christian Yelich, hitting a .353 batting average with 8 RBIs. With dominating wins over the Royals and Rays, Milwaukee is looking to be another contender for the National League. The LA Dodgers are back at it again, looking to repeat as World Series champions, led by reigning NL MVP Shohei Ohtani, with a .273 batting average, as well as picking up a win in his first starter on the mound, going 6 scoreless innings and only allowing 1 hit. After the Dodgers' wild off-season, picking up players like Edwin Diaz, Kyle Tucker, they also resigned key parts to their roster, including Evan Phillips and Kike Hernandez. However, not everything is perfect in LA. Shortstop Mookie Betts was placed on a 10-day IL with an oblique strain, and pitcher Blake Snell still eyeing a late May return from the IL with left shoulder fatigue and inflammation. The New York Yankees are at the top of the American League, led by reigning AL MVP Aaron Judge, batting .250. The Yankees pitching dominated the first week of the season, only letting up 3 total runs at the end of March. The Yankees also had dominating wins over the San Francisco Giants, who they swept in a 3-game series and won 2 games versus the Miami Marlins. With plenty of games ahead, it's only the beginning of what promises to be a super exciting season. Over in the NBA, the playoff race is heating up. Teams like the Detroit Pistons, who are first in the East, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, who are first in the West, are dominating the regular season with superstars Cade Cunningham and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, respectively, as the regular season comes to a close. The race for the MVP awards is closing in. The top candidates are players such as Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, averaging 31.6 points per game, 4.4 rebounds per game, and 6.5 assists per game. Victor Wembanyama, averaging 24.9 points per game, 11.6 rebounds per game, and 3.1 blocks per game. And Nikola Jokic, averaging 27.9 points per game, 12.9 rebounds, and 10.9 assists. Victor Wembanyama left the game early against the Philadelphia 76ers on April 6th due to a left rib contusion in the first half, also known as a bruised rib. Wembanyama is still a contention for the MVP award, but has to play at least 20 minutes in one more NBA game to meet the requirements of the NBA's 65-game threshold. Another injury update on the NBA is one of NBA's best, Luka Doncic, of the Los Angeles Lakers. He is out for the rest of the season due to a grade 2 left hamstring strain. It is unclear what his status is for the postseason, but fans are eager for good news. Doncic is the main reason that the Lakers were able to climb to the third spot in the Western Conference standings. Losing such a pivotal player is a major blow for the Lakers, but fans stay determined as the Lakers continue their season without him. Stay with us after the break as we transition to Anchor Point, the official debate show of the Hall Zone. I'm Valentina Polidoro, and this has been your sports news update on Hall Zone. Welcome to Anchor Point, the official debate segment of Hall Zone. I'm Valentina Polidoro, and I'm joined alongside Jay Costa and Elijah Weintraub. Today, we're going to be discussing World Cup winners, March Madness player of the tournament, and who the Giants take in 5. Guys, what are your thoughts? Who's going to be the World Cup winners?
What an absolute disgrace by Italy. For three consecutive World Cups. They ain't in it. They ain't in it. 2014 was their last appearance. 2014! 2006 was their last championship win, and they ain't in it. I don't know if it's because no one cares. Not many people care. I don't know. Moving on. Sorry, thank you for the rant.
Well, Elijah, why don't I want to hear what you have before
My pick, though? Yeah, here's my pick, though. France. France is going to win the World Cup. Here's the reasons why. They have the experience for the past 2 World Cups, 2018, which they won it against Croatia 4-2. And the 2022 one, they also competed. They did not win it. They lost in penalty kicks, unfortunately. But they are a physical team. They're passionate, unlike Italy. They care. They care about their soccer. They know how to win. They don't know how to play.
But Elijah, it's not just, that's not even the hardest competition in soccer. The hardest competition is the Champions League. We've got proven Champions League guys, and we're talking about a real team that can win this. It's Portugal. My home country, and they are the best team in this World Cup. The midfield, the attack, the defense. They wipe the floor with France. France? Are you serious? We're talking about Cristiano Ronaldo, the greatest, hands down soccer player of all time. 5 Ballon d'Ors, 3 FIFA Best Men's Players, 5 Champions Leagues, and you're telling me this man can't win a World Cup? Messi had his rigged World Cup in Qatar. It's time for Ronaldo to win in the great United States of America, and we're going to see it. With his group, you're telling me that group is he's not going to make it out of it with Colombia, Uzbekistan, and DR Congo. That is an easy group to get out of. Every single team, cupcake. This entire World Cup is a cakewalk for the Portuguese national team.
Wow. Portugal might end up winning the group stage. No question about it. I completely agree with you. You're going to win the group stage. You think they're going to win the World Cup? You crazy? Oh. You crazy?
I'm not crazy. I'm right.
Clearly you are, because they don't have the experience in the World Cup environment like France has in the past couple years. They've got the talent for it. And getting there was a nice, smooth road. They went 5-6 in the end.
You want to talk
Portugal.
about a nice smooth road?
4-1
No, let me
and
talk.
1.
Let me talk. Let's talk
4-1
about a nice smooth
4-1
road. Do you know
and
who
1.
they played?
4-1. I don't care who
Let's
they
see
played.
let's see if you did your research. Azerbaijan, 124th in the FIFA World Rankings. You beat them 3-1. Ukraine, 32nd in the FIFA World Rankings. Iceland, 75th in the FIFA World Rankings. That's a cupcake walk. You know what PSG did when he left? They won the Champions League. You know, he won it great. He won the Farmers League.
Isn't
Ligue
the
1.
World Cup more important if we think about it, though, at the end of the day?
No.
Isn't the World Cup
Elijah,
what matters? I mean,
just
right?
because Americans care about the World Cup
It's
doesn't
a
mean
world
it's the
thing.
most
It's not just
important
America that cares.
I can
Yes,
tell
Americans
you right now,
pay more
Elijah,
attention to it when the World Cup comes around, especially that's coming to the United States, Mexico, and Canada. But it doesn't matter.
I'm telling you right now, the soccer community goes to sleep when international football comes. They don't care. Because international football is not what they care for. They care about their clubs. I would much rather watch Benfica play or Barcelona play.
I really appreciate your guys' remarks on this, and this is a very clearly hot debate for the both of you. So to continue this, I'd love to go into my next question, all about March Madness. Who do you think will be the March Madness player of the season?
Well, why don't I start with this one?
Go
And
ahead.
we're going to talk about winners. We're going to talk about the undisputed best player in the country, with the exception of Caden Boozer, because he is a dog. Yaxel Lendborg, New Jersey native, by the way. An absolute dog. And now he came from a mid-major program to Michigan and led this team to a national championship. And you're going to talk about your guy. And last time I checked, he lost in the national championship. Is that right?
He might have lost, but guarantee you, though, he was the better player in the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8. And guess what? He was the most impactful player. By the way, for those of you who don't know, my player is UConn Terrace Reese Jr., the senior center. He might have only had 13 points in the championship game, but 17 points versus Illinois, 26 versus Duke, 20 versus Michigan State. Back to the Duke game. 9 rebounds, 4 blocks, 2 steals. Impressive. Let me tell you, he may not be all about the scoring aspect in terms of your player, but he is the most impactful player.
You want to talk about stats. Lendborg makes those numbers look pedestrian. Against St. Louis, who was one of the best teams in the country, by the way, in the second round. 69% from the field, 3 for 5 from 3, 4 for 4 free throws, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. That's elite. Versus Alabama, who is very much so a basketball school now in the Sweet 16. 23 points, 60%, 66% from the field, 80% from 3, 12 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals. That's elite. Against Tennessee, one of the best teams in the tournament, 27. And he's 52% from the field, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks, and a steal. He makes Terrace Reed look pedestrian. And if he didn't get hurt in Arizona, he had 14 minutes, he had 11 points. If he didn't get hurt versus Arizona, he would have dropped another 20 piece. If he wasn't playing on an ankle injury in the national championship, he could have dropped 30 against UConn.
I'm sure he can, but that's just scoring. I don't care. Terrace Reese Jr., he, as I mentioned earlier, an impactful player. They needed him on both sides. If it wasn't for him, and especially the game that they were down in Duke, we wouldn't be seeing them today in the championship game. Yeah, they lost, but we needed him. Terrace Reed Jr. was the star. He really, he was a high leverage player. He was everything, was just consistent. He checked off every box. The points were there, the blocks, everything was there. Yes, your guy, absolutely phenomenal in scoring, but that's it. Outside of scoring, I can't name something else.
You know who the reason why UConn's here? Because Braden Mullins hit a buzzer beater from half court. That's the only reason why UConn even made it here. And everyone thought, oh, they're the team of destiny, the team of destiny. No. Michigan is the best team in the country with the best player in the country.
Yeah, because they won it.
Yaxel Lendborg is undisputedly a better player than Terrace Reed. The way he plays, Big Ten Player of the Year, first team All-American.
Guarantee it'd be a different story if UConn would have won this thing.
It wouldn't
right
have
or
been.
wrong?
It wouldn't have been.
It just wouldn't matter.
Was Terrace Reed
Why would it
first team
matter?
All-American?
Why would it not matter?
Was Terrace
Why
Reed
would it
Big
not
Ten
matter?
Player of the Year?
Why would it not matter? I don't care if he's Big Ten player. Why wouldn't it matter?
Why would it matter?
It does matter.
How? Look at the accolades, look at the stats, look at the way he plays. You can't sit here and tell me Yaxel Lendborg is not on par or better than Terrace Reed in every single statistical category. You just can't.
And scoring.
Every category. Not
And the
just
leading in
scoring.
per second, everything else. Yeah, Terrace Reed Jr. for that.
That was very heated as well. Seems like you guys really just kind of disagree. But it's good. Sometimes it's good to disagree, which leads me to my last question, which I feel like is a good one. Who should the Giants take in 5?
It is the simple one here. First off, they need to work on their defense. That's what they need to do. And a perfect person for that is safety Caleb Downs from Ohio State. He was a freshman at Alabama, led the team with 107 tackles. At Ohio State in 2025, 68 tackles, 2 interceptions. Overall, 257 career tackles, 163 solo tackles. And this is a Giants team, keep in mind, that struggled all last season on the defensive side. If we look at the Broncos game, they blew a 19-point lead. A 19-point lead. Bears and the Lions, they blew 10-point leads. Ridiculous.
Yeah, you can't credit Shane Bowen's failures as a defensive coordinator to one secondary position. You just can't. And what it looks like right now is the NFL doesn't value Caleb Downs the way that you do and the way that pundits do. I'm telling you right now that there is absolutely no better player than Jeremiah Love. There is no player that's better than Jeremiah Love for this team. This is a John Harbaugh coach team who loves the run. We saw they brought in Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, a rushing quarterback. We've got Jackson Dart. Jeremiah Love in a sound running game is the single best thing for this offense for a young budding star in Jackson Dart. We threw money at Kenneth Walker for that same reason, and obviously he signed in Kansas City. In my 6 years of covering the NFL draft, I have never, with the exception of Bijan Robinson, seen a better running back than Jeremiah Love. Positional value.
Keep in mind, I'm going to interrupt you. The Giants are at number 5 in the draft. Number 5. Let's take a look at who's before. You have the Raiders, who we know they're going to get Mendoza. Let's minus the Raiders for a second. You have the Jets, the Cardinals, and the Titans. This Titans team, they need a running back. They need a running back.
But they also need a linebacker
like
and an
Jeremiah
edge.
Love. They need a guy like Jeremiah Love, and he's out. And you need to build the defense with the Giants. You need the defense.
Is that we signed a linebacker. We have Javon Holland and we have Tyler Nubin in the safety room. We have corners. We don't need secondary. We need a new defensive coordinator, which we got. What I am telling you is that a running back will solve a lot of our problems. A running back, the offense, we have a tight end. The offense is the big issue. We were not putting up points to stay in these games. Jackson Dart got hurt. Malik Neighbors got hurt. Yes. Cam Scadaboo got hurt. And yet, no, Cam Scadaboo doesn't stop me from taking a running back. And we don't even know if the Titans are going to take someone. This is a very inconceivable, inconsistent
We don't even know if the Giants
draft.
are going to take one either. Again,
We don't. But what I'm telling you is you can't speculate, oh, he might not even be there because we don't know. And that's how
But
we
that's
got
what
into a very meat and potatoes
we're arguing,
draft.
though. We're trying to discuss here who the Giants should take. And if, I
So
did
then
the
why are you
math.
bringing up whether or not the Titans are going to take him? We're talking about who the Giants are going to take.
Right, but my point is, let's say the Titans take him, which I've already predicted that. They got Jeremiah Love. Who else do you pick then?
This is
Jeremiah
not
Love's
about
out the
who
page.
else.
Who do you get?
This is about.
It's about
I'm
the
saying,
defense,
I'm
and the
saying
Giants need to
Jeremiah
focus on the
Love is
defense,
is
and
the
they need to
player.
focus on the safety, Caleb Downs, who is the key to this team. He's got the talent. He's got the numbers.
But the NFL
defense
doesn't
is
value him
horrible.
like that. The NFL doesn't value him. He's going to go 9, 10, 11.
I don't care what the NFL has to say. What do the Giants have to say?
The Giants
what
are
if
in the
Jeremiah
NFL
Love
last
is out?
time I checked.
We are not considering the fact that the Titans need a running back like Jeremiah Loud.
The Titans don't need a running back nearly as bad as you think. There are more glaring holes in that defense, in linebacker, in edge. The running back, wide receiver, I'd take before a running back for the Titans. There are more glaring holes in that team than running back. The New York Giants have the luxury to be able to take a running back right now because they only need a couple more pieces before the season is theirs, and a Super Bowl could be theirs. It's really not that far away, and non-fans don't give enough credit.
The bottom line is the Giants need to build up their defense. Joe Shane's son, Carson, needs to pick for the Giants. Bottom line here. And they need a guy like Caleb Downs. They need him. They need him. They need him.
What an incredible debate between the two of you. Wow, super heated, super fun to watch. Super happy to have you guys on the show today. But that's it for our segment. Don't go anywhere, guys, because we've got a special interview with Seton Hall student Angie Diaco.
For all, forever. A promise that began 170 years ago. and still guides us today. A legacy of knowledge, faith, and transformation, born of vision, built on community. We are one university with one mission, to create an immensity of future good, as Mother Seton once hoped, to prepare minds, to open doors, to lead with compassion. This is Seton Hall. Driven by purpose, united by faith, reason, and possibility. And now, a campaign to elevate every Setonian, for all, forever. A historic goal to touch every corner of our university and every member of our community. We prepare leaders through scholarship. We enrich education through immersive experience and global reach. We strengthen our cornerstones with academic excellence, research, and faith. Because every gift touches every student, today and for generations to come. For opportunity, for discovery, for community. Join us in shaping the next 170 years. For all, forever. A campaign for a greater Seton Hall.
Welcome back, everyone. Once again, I'm Valentina Polidoro, and I am pleased to welcome a very special guest, Seton Hall's very own Angie Diaco. Angie, I'm so happy to have you on here today.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes, of course. So I want to kind of ask about, how you were first introduced to sports. How would you say that's kind of shaped you today?
My earliest memory of sports would probably be with my uncle. He coaches college football, so I kind of grew up into the sports industry. He originally, when I was really little, coached at Cincinnati when Travis and Jason Kelsey were there. And then I remember vaguely him being at Notre Dame, and that was the first game I actually went to. And the atmosphere there was just so awesome. And we went in the Golden Dome with all the students, and we got to meet the head coach, Brian Kelly, at the time. It was amazing, and I feel like that's kind of what got me into sports. And then he ended up being the head coach of UConn, and that was an awesome experience because I was older and I was able to remember the experience and be able to really live it. So I would say that's kind of my earliest experience, and it's shaped me into who I am because it's just such a awesome feeling of the atmosphere to be able to see that and to be able to experience it and just feel like I felt almost as though I was watching it and I wanted to be a part of it. And I wanted to contribute to it. So that's what got me into sports.
That's so awesome and so inspiring to hear.
Thanks.
And so what have you really done on Seton Hall's campus to really kind of get involved? What organizations are you part of?
Yeah, so it's kind of a long list at this point as a junior, but I'm a sports media major, so I tried to get involved as early as I could. So I started with SHU TV, actually, which used to be Pirate TV, as a sports anchor, and I ended up doing that for a while, and then I moved into Pirate Sports Network, where I started with camera operating and scoreboard and things like that just to get the lay of the land and understand all the different positions. But then I ended up moving into sports photography, and that's what I do now. So I was recently at Prudential Center taking pictures, sideline, baseline. I love to do fan cam. That was awesome. So I did that. I started with the men's soccer team, and then I moved into the basketball team. And now I'm doing baseball. I actually just came from a game. So I did that, as well as I'm a participant in the CHAMP program here, which is where you get paired up with an alumni who used to obviously go here and is could be a mentor for you in your field. So my mentor is Peter Biancamano, who works at SNY. So I was able to tour SNY, which is in the World Trade Center, which was amazing.
No way.
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about that.
Yeah.
Mind telling me?
Yeah, of course. So I've been in the program for about 2 years. I started when I was a sophomore, and I originally had Michael Parecka as my mentor, and he was amazing. He was more in the theater realm, but he had connections in the sports industry. So I was able to talk to Janine Ramirez, and she is a very famous anchor and reporter. She actually acted as well as an anchor in Ghostbusters, which is a fun fact.
Oh, no way.
So I was able
awesome.
to call with her, and she was amazing and give me a lot of advice, especially as a woman in the industry. So I was able to speak with her, and I also met with someone on the New York Yankees team, which was awesome. And then I participated again this year, and I was wondering who my mentor was going to be, because you don't know when you first get your mentor. And I was so excited, and I walked in, and I met Peter, and he told me he worked at SNY, and I was like, wow, this is perfect. He's very Italian like me, which is amazing. Comes from a big family. He lives in Hoboken, and his family has a little Italian deli. So I feel very
At
close to
home,
him.
yeah.
Yes, exactly. I feel very at home with him. So I was able to tour SNY. And I love the program. It's amazing. I would recommend it to anyone here.
That's absolutely incredible. And the College of Human Culture and Development really just offers such a great program for the
Yes.
Champ program. And
Yes.
how would you feel that's kind of benefited you so far being at Seton Hall?
Being at Seton Hall in general,
Yeah.
yeah, Seton Hall is amazing. I originally really wanted to go to Clemson, fun fact.
Oh, no way.
And obviously for some people, you know, your mom goes here and your aunt goes here and you're like, I want to kind of do my own thing. So I think that's where my head was at. But the more I thought about it, I was like, this is really close to my house. I live 35 minutes away in Scotch Plains. So I was able to, you know, think about that and be like, I could go home whenever I want. It's very close to Manhattan as well, in New York City. There's a lot of opportunities there. So I was like, maybe this is good. So I ended up deciding to go to Seton Hall. And after I decided to go to Seton Hall, I just remember being on a tour actually for Blue Crew. And my Blue Crew tour guide, I wish I could remember who it was, told me that you really need to like get your foot in the door and whatever you put into the school, you get out of it.
Absolutely.
And as a freshman or going into your freshman year, you're like, okay, you know what I mean? But when I truly stepped into the school, I mean, I can't even begin to describe the amount of opportunities I've had. And I just listed like 3, but I've had so many. Especially my most favorite opportunity was when my professor, BJ Schechter, he's the executive director for the Center of Sports Media. I had a class with him called Live Sports Video Production. And he also encouraged me to apply to Pirates in the Field, which I did. And ESPN set an opportunity for ESPN's College Game Day. And so I was able to work as a production runner. It was just me.
That is awesome.
It was amazing.
Gosh. Yeah.
So I worked with them as a production runner, and I was there for, I believe, 3 days. I went all by myself, flew out, and had a hotel room and traveled by myself.
So you were a professional.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
I see you.
Thank you. It was my first like real life experience, which is really exciting. And I worked the University of Notre Dame versus the University of Pittsburgh game.
Oh, wow.
So we were there a couple days before it. I think the production was on a Saturday, and I got there on a Wednesday.
Nice.
And that was a super rewarding experience. That's something that I love to share about. I actually recently applied to the ambassador program because I love this school and I love to talk about it. You can probably tell.
Oh yeah, you
but
and me both.
so I've had an amazing experience here.
That's absolutely incredible. And I mean, going to ESPN College Game Day is such an amazing privilege, and it sounds like such a great thing to, you know, kind of get involved in that world of sports. And it seems like you really enjoyed it, and that makes me so excited to hear. Like, that's just awesome. That's so incredible.
Thank you.
So if you were to choose like one person that's really like kind of your idol in the sports industry, who would it be and why?
That's a great question. I would say that a recent idol that I came across was Jess Sims. She's actually an anchor for ESPN College Game Day as well as just other ESPN productions.
Okay.
And I met her at ESPN College Game Day when I was there because one of my tasks as a production runner was to go pick up talent from the airport, which was very nerve-wracking in a Wagoneer in a city I have no idea where I am. And I picked her up, and I was a little bit nervous because, you know, anchors, it's hard to interact, and what do you say, and you're the driver, so do you interact? I'm a bit of an overthinker, so I kind of was like, what do I say? How do I say it? She got right in the car and sat in the front seat with me, and we talked the whole hour.
Oh, that's great.
There was a lot of traffic, so we were able to talk a lot, and I got to hear a lot about her experience. She told me a lot about how she started working with Peloton, actually, and she became one of the top people in Peloton, and that's how she got her job at ESPN. They found her there, and they were like, hey, do you want to work at ESPN? And she was like, yeah. So she ended up doing that.
Wow.
And I would say that she's a role model for me because she really holds herself well, and she's an awesome person. And being a woman in the industry, it's so nice to meet people who are, you know, high top people and are so down to earth and welcoming and love to talk about their experience. It's very awesome to hear about people who have had awesome experiences in the sports industry and learn from them and want to aspire to be like them. So yeah, I would say that that's my
absolutely, and it's
idol.
so inspiring, especially to hear from other women who are involved in the industry, because it can be hard for us.
Right.
It's a very male-dominated space, and we're just trying to put ourselves out there the same way that they do. And I mean, clearly you're doing an amazing job at it so far.
Thank you.
So yeah, so like, what kind of advice would you give to someone who's interested in pursuing sports media? Where do you think they can, insert themselves, place their foot down?
I would say to anyone who wants to get involved in the industry everyone always says this, but you really do kind of have to say yes to everything. Any opportunity I get, I take. Even if it's not necessarily, what you want to do. If you want to work in production and you end up doing something with marketing, it doesn't mean that you're not going to work in production at some point.
Right.
So I think it's important to just take whatever you can, any internship that you can, even if it's not in sports. My mentality is just getting an internship and landing an internship and being able to, get an internship and then work a job into that and be able to just succeed is all that I want. So I want to be able to, get as much experience as I can.
Right.
So I always say that if you want a career in this field, which is obviously, as you know, very competitive, you should just get as much experience as you can as early as you can. So just make sure that you say yes to everything and keep an open mind.
That's a great piece of advice, and something I definitely need to take as well. So I really appreciate that. So as someone who really just juggles a lot between, PSN and SHU TV and all these other opportunities that you have outside of this, like, how would you say you kind of manage that? What's like your go-to way of, planning around all these crazy days and, keeping yourself at peace?
I would say that, honestly, it's just that I love it. Like, honestly, I love what I do. I love being a part of this, and I love to, be involved in as much as I can. And I know that can be super overwhelming for some people, and it can be a lot at times, but that's something that excites me. I don't really like to sit around too much, and I don't really like to have too much free time, because then I feel like I'm not doing enough. So I would say that I manage my time just by making sure that I'm not overdoing it, but also keeping my time busy. So I know it might seem like a lot with, SHU TV and PSN, and I'm a part of an ESPN focus group as well right now, where we're tracking our social media consumption in terms of sports. So I'm involved in a lot, but it's all things that I love, which is exciting. So I'm able to, do things that I love and make sure that I'm also prioritizing my own, self, and
Absolutely, and it just makes those things all the much more better, because when you're really just kind of allowing for that balance, allowing yourself to enjoy all the things in sports while also, kind of focusing on your academics and everything going on with college, it can be a lot, but it's so rewarding at the end of the day.
Exactly.
So I totally understand that. So I want to hear more about your ESPN focus group. How did you kind of get involved with that?
Yeah, so that's another Center for Sports Media opportunity. BJ Schechter, as I was telling you, was one of my professors, but he is also, as I said, the executive director for the Center for Sports Media here. So we also have an exclusive partnership with ESPN, so I'm able to, and other sports media students here are able to get involved with that and get any opportunities that come to us. So Professor Schechter will usually send an email to any sports media students saying, I have this opportunity. Anyone who's interested, just fill out this form, or anyone who's interested, just email me and tell me that you're interested. So I was able to do that, and I reached out to him because that's something, obviously, as I said, to say yes to everything.
Of course.
So I was like, yes, of course. I applied and I got it. It's 12 people from Seton Hall, and it's, I believe, around like a 6-week program. We meet online, and we just track our social media consumption, what apps we're clicking on, what apps we're not clicking on, how often we're going on our social media, how often we're picking up our phone, things like that. And throughout the week, we'll meet, and then we'll discuss, okay, this is what I picked up, this is what I didn't, this is what ESPN I was watching, this is what I wasn't watching. And we also get to meet really amazing people in the industry, like Mike Foss. So we were able to have a guest speaker on, which was really rewarding, being able to hear his experience as well. And so, yeah, we're also going to have a presentation, and we go to ESPN headquarters in Bristol, Connecticut. So that's exciting, but
that's awesome.
It's an awesome opportunity.
Awesome. That sounds amazing. Well, I really appreciate you having you on the show today. Thank you so much for allowing me to interview you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, of course. And that's all we have for you tonight. From our entire crew, I'm Valentina Polidoro. Thank you for joining us, and have a great night.